You ever have one of those moments where nothing feels wrong until you replay it later and realize how close you were to ruining everything? That's what this is about. Not a fight that lasted long, not some big criminal story, just about 30 seconds of anger. Honestly, I still think about how normal that day felt. Let me go back a bit. At the time, my life wasn't dramatic. I wasn't in trouble. I wasn't angry at the world. I was just tired in the regular way people are tired. Work, traffic, bills, the same routines on repeat. Nothing special. I remember getting into my car that evening thinking about dinner. That's it. No bad mood, no plan, just another drive home. The road was crowded, like it always is around that hour. Everyone trying to get somewhere at the same time, everyone convinced their time matters more. I won't lie, I hate that part of the day. You sit there, inch forward, and feel like your patience is leaking out slowly. But still, nothing felt out of control. Then this guy cuts in front of me. Not dangerously, not some movie-style near crash, just close enough to make me brake harder than I wanted to. That split second where your heart jumps and your hands tighten on the wheel. I remember saying something out loud to nobody, just one of those comments people make in their cars because they think they're alone. He slows down after that. At the time, I didn't think much of it. I thought maybe he was lost, or maybe I imagined it. But then he looks back at me through his mirror, just a glance, and something about that look got under my skin. Looking back, that's where the shift happened. Not the cut-in, not the break, that look. I catch up to him at the next light, windows down. He says something. I don't even remember the exact words, which is kind of the scary part. I remember the tone more than the sentence, sharp, dismissive, like I was the problem. Honestly, I could have let it go right there. That's the part that messes with me now. There was no trap, no one forced anything. I could have stared straight ahead and waited for the light to turn green. But instead, I replied. Nothing clever, nothing planned, just reactive. My voice was louder than it needed to be. I felt my face get warm, that feeling where your chest tightens and you feel like backing down would somehow mean you lost something. At the time, it didn't feel like anger. It felt like standing up for myself. That's how I justified it. Just words, right? Just two strangers blowing off steam. The light turns green, but neither of us moves right away. That pause felt longer than it was. He pulls over to the side. I don't even remember deciding to follow him. My hands just did it. Turn signal, brake, park. I tell myself I just want to end it. Clear the air, say something, and move on. Looking back, that was a lie I told myself to feel reasonable. My heart was beating hard, but my head felt weirdly calm, like I was already committed before I understood to what. I step out of the car. That's where the 30 seconds start. I remember thinking it would just be a conversation. That's what I told myself as I walked toward his car. Honestly, I didn't feel out of control. I felt focused, too focused. He gets out too. That's the first moment I should have turned around. Two people stepping out of cars on the side of a road never leads to anything good. But once we were both standing there, it felt like backing away would be embarrassing, like I'd be admitting something I wasn't ready to admit. We're close enough now to hear each other breathe. He says something again, short, sharp, not a threat, not even that creative, but it lands wrong, and I feel it, that little snap inside, the part of your brain that stops weighing options and starts reacting. Looking back, the scary thing is how fast it happened. There wasn't some big build-up, no shouting match, no crowd gathering, just one step forward, one hand raised. I won't lie, I don't even remember who touched who first. That detail matters a lot later, by the way. At the time, it felt irrelevant. Now it's everything. There's a shove, maybe from him, maybe from me, and then my body does something before my mind catches up. One punch, not wild, not dramatic, just enough. That's it. That's the 30 seconds. He falls back and hits the side of his car. Not hard enough to knock him out, hard enough to make everything real all at once. I remember the sound more than the sight. Metal, bone, Silence after. For a split second, neither of us moves, and in that silence, I feel it. Not anger anymore, not adrenaline, just this heavy, sinking realization that something is shifted and there's no undo button. My hands feel strange, like they don't belong to me. I hear someone yelling. I'm not sure who. Someone calls the police, maybe him, maybe a passerby, maybe both. At the time, I still thought it could be talked out. That's the part I laugh at now, but not in a good way. I thought, we're adults, this was a misunderstanding. I thought the word fight sounded too serious for what just happened. The police don't see it that way. They separate us, ask questions, write things down, and suddenly every small detail matters. Where we were standing, who stepped first, who raised their voice. My heart is still racing, but now there's this cold edge creeping in, the kind that makes your stomach drop. When they tell me I'm being charged, I honestly don't understand at first. Charged sounds like something that happens to other people, people with records, people who mess up repeatedly, not someone who just lost their temper for half a minute. He's injured enough to need medical attention, not life-threatening, but enough to turn this into something official, permanent, documented. I sit in the back of the car and stare at my hands again. Same hands as before, same person, but now everything attached to me feels heavier. My name, my job, my future plans, all of it suddenly feels fragile. Looking back, what messes with me isn't just what I did, it's how easy it was to do it, how ordinary the moment felt before it tipped. No warning signs, no villain music, just impulse. I don't know how his life changed after that. I know mine did. Court dates, lawyers, conversations you never imagine having about yourself, explaining a version of you that only existed for 30 seconds, but now defines you on paper. Honestly, if I could go back, I wouldn't change some big dramatic moment. I'd change the smallest one, the glance in the mirror, the reply at the light, the decision to open the car door. Because anger doesn't need time to ruin things. Sometimes it just needs half a minute.